Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and on today's snapshot, everyone's gonna get flashed when we take a look at Mirage's extended range Prism build. So as for those of you who don't follow Destiny coverage, you may be unfamiliar with the phrase, there will always be a loot cave. However, in the Warframe world, we would simply refer to it as Viver 2.0. Now, we all know what this mission is, if not, ask a friend, because the premise of this video is to show you the build that I use to fairly effectively cover the entire map with the power of the Gay Hadouken, also known as Prism. We'll extend the range, bump up its damage, and keep its energy efficiency low enough so you can spam it until you decide that the party's over. Now let's talk about Prism's mechanics. Once activated, Mirage will launch her magical disco ball of death, which at max rank will shoot up to 20 lasers that track enemies continuously dealing damage to them as long as they remain within line of sight. Just note that while this ability has a duration, you can't toggle it off early as it drains energy while it's active. Once Prism's duration is over, or if you deactivate it early, it will release a flash that blinds surrounding enemies. Interestingly enough, Prism also has an additional damage bonus when Mirage sticks to well-lit areas. Now, clearly, power strength affects the ability's damage, duration affects the maximum time Prism can be out for, as well as the duration of the blind, while range determines the range at which the lasers are able to track enemies, as well as the range of the blind. So as for the snapshot, this is the same 3 Forma build that I showed you in my previous Hall of Mirrors build, adding in 2 dashes and 1 deep polarity. Now, ignore the extra star because I know all the OCD folks are going to ask me about that. Trust me, all you need is 3. Now as for the build, the big performers in this one will be the overextend and stretch combination that can reach almost every important point in the map. You'll also want to keep the energy cost to a minimum so that you can continuously kill off as many targets as possible in order to increase spawn rates. Also, either of the continuities will ensure that Prism will travel long enough to hit most places on the map. Without it, it'll deactivate fairly quickly. Lastly, and most painfully, in order to get back into the positive for power strength, I had to toss in Intensify and sacrifice Vitality for Transient Fortitude. While this does bring survivability down, it will increase killing speed, meaning more affinity for all. And as we know, Mirage is all about pleasing the crowd. However, if you feel weary about putting yourself in a sticky situation, feel free to keep Vitality in. Just be sure to stick to well-lit areas. Now, some tips and tricks. One of the biggest things that I would suggest is using a weapon with either the entropy effect from Cephalon's Suda or the blind effect from the Red Veil, as both of these will replenish energy and help keep your Prism fueled. While you can pretty much take any position, always be sure to shoot your Prism towards the opposite end of the map, making sure it clears the center. Now, if you're in the center, shooting straight up can also prove to be very effective. Lastly, don't forget about Prism's blind. If you happen to get overwhelmed, don't hesitate to deactivate Prism early in order to buy yourself some time to get to safety. So, while ranking up weapons and farming standing can be a bit of a pain, Mirage always knows how to liven up any grind. So thank you all for watching this episode of The Snapshot. Be sure to check out the previous build I did for Nova and her Prime variant, as well as Regenerative Mult Syndicate Snapshot. Now, don't forget to do the thing that I asked you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned for more tips to improve your grinding here at A Gay Guy Plays. Oh look, it's one of our new best friends! Yep, that's pretty much how I feel about that, asshole.